Hello and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 Virtual Racing League, where tensions are rising ahead of the penultimate round of the Ginetta Junior and Ginetta GT5 MultiClass Championship that we've been running on the Xbox platform for quite a while now, it has to be said, a couple of months, so the drivers are well seasoned and adapted now to these cars, but action aplenty all through these rounds. Round 11 today, so Nurburgring Sprint Short Circuit, a popular circuit with a lot of the drivers, should allow some good close racing. And that's ahead of course, the last race in Dubai Club. But ahead of that, let's look at the driver standings heading into this penultimate round. Alex CDL versus Chris Doherty. They are the two favourites in the GT5 Championship, and it's Stuart Davis and Scuderia Sam, the two favourites in the Junior Championship. And then it's very close in the midfield too with Sabrosa, Frigazelle, Big Bad Rolf and Stalker Brown, who's had a fantastic second half of this season. Stalker Brown, he's there in 6th, he'll be targeting the two ahead of him, see if he can get up there a bit higher on the top of the championship. And then likewise as well with Roger the Dodger, D-Man and Luke McGee fighting away in the midfield of the juniors. In the team standings, we've got Team Spin still leading the way. They could win the championship today if they outscore Team Island. Bruce and McGee, Team Not Mates, 3 McCaves, Crash and Bash. Roger the Dodger won, pretty much just him I think, that team of one. And then Brown-tastic there. So let's have a little look at the starting grid, Ian.
Yep, so in the GT5s we've got Free Gazelle with Sabrosa and Chris Doherty, Alex CDL, Cherryberry in 5th and Stalker Brown. And just waiting on the juniors. And in the juniors we've got Roger the Dodger, Stuart Davis, Scuderia Sam, Lupin G, E-Man, Twingo and Kev's rounding off the starting grid.
Yeah, check out that time there from Roger the Dodger. He's really got a good handle by the looks of it on this circuit, ahead of the two championship contenders there. Roger the Dodger is also having an excellent second half of the season. He'll be looking for another win here today. Free Gazelle though on pole position, good to see him returning to the front. And Sabrosa alongside him. Sabrosa gets a good start by the looks of it in that familiar bright blue machine. Stalker Brown's not had such a good one though. I don't think, yeah, he's been swamped by a couple of the, Stuart Davis from the juniors, so Stuart Davis always gets a good start. It's a long run down into turn 1, you can see the cars jostling for position. Sabrosa having a little look on the inside there of Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle just holds him off, and right round the outside goes Chris Doherty, and he'll get the inside line for the second corner here. Fantastic manoeuvre from Chris Doherty, really good racer's instincts there, going round the outside. And then the inside, we've got a spinner. I think it's Roger the Dodger, the pole sitter from the junior. He's round and he's down to last place, and D-Man's have been in the wars as well by the looks of it. McGee as well, he's down in 12th, there's Luke McGee. We've got Cherryberry returning in this one, he's up to 2nd now. Oh, and all carnage and all hell breaking loose in the background. Was that Free Gazelle involved? Sabrosa as well, possibly? I think so. They've tumbled down the order a bit. Scuderia Sam is up to 8th. Cherryberry's 2nd though, ahead of Alex CDL, Stalker Brown, Free Gazelle, Stuart Davis, Scuderia Sam, McEvs, and Luke McGee just passing another car facing the wrong direction there. Sabrosa it is, so he's all the way back down to last now. Sabrosa, terrible. He's not had the best of luck recently in this championship, although showing plenty of pace. 3rd in the championship at the moment, so he's battling with Free Gazelle for that position. Free Gazelle there needs to get a move on after starting pole position. So both pole sitters have had an absolute shocker in the two classes here on the opening lap, and you can see Cherryberry now looking very racy indeed behind Chris Doherty, who will be hoping he can keep these two behind and get a little bit of an advantage in the championship points wise over Alex CBL. It's a long way to go here yet, Ian.
Sure is, as you say, just a absolute shocker for the first two pole sitters. First Roger going round and then Free Gazelle in an instant. So we've got Roger here looking to make a bit of recovery, but and then obviously Sabrosa's dropped to back as well. But here we've got D-Man and McEvs having a bit of a tangle, and Sabrosa's just trying to make his way back through without getting involved with all this. Roger's flashing his lights, saying he's coming back through. He's got good pace here, so he'll be looking to apply that now and get himself back in the running.
Yeah, McEvs going for a dive there. I think he was trying to keep Roger behind, but ended up hitting the side of Loopy McGee by the looks of it. So McEvs versus McGee, it's another muck battle going on, and Roger will be hoping not to be the meat in that sandwich as he tries to get past them all now. A great little trio of battling going on. Actually, DL's now up to 2nd, and that's Cherryberry. Oh, he nearly wipes out Free Gazelle as he comes back on the circuit. Had a really big moment there, coming onto the back straight as they head up to the chicane now. This is an overtaking spot if you can get fully alongside, and that's Free Gazelle really fully alongside Stalker Brown. A great little battle going on between those two. Free Gazelle must have had an excellent run onto that straight, I think. And where he is, he's up to 3rd now, so let's see if he can catch Alex CDL, but it's the two championship leaders up ahead. So how do you see this one playing out?
Oh, it's early days yet, but it's yeah. Chris has shown good pace at some of the rounds, so he'll be looking to keep that up. But Alex is ever present as well, so yeah, he'll be fancying his chances here, looking behind. He's not too far away, so and Free Gazelle had good pace in qualifying, so he'll be able to reapply that after. Oh, here's going for a lunge here, and was ambitious, but he looks like he's got alongside. But the cutback, Chris has just got it. But yeah, Alex is looking pretty racy there too.
Absolutely fantastic racing by these two there. You can see them working out the corner coming ahead, and Free Gazelle's got a great little view of this little scrap going on. The Stalker Brown keeping a watching brief too. Chris Doherty just fending off Alex EDL, and he knows how crucial it is for the championship. Alex EDL's got a run here on the inside, and Chris Doherty tries to brave it around the outside here, and he just about does, and Free Gazelle's having a little look now, sticking his nose in. Alex EDL's going to have to be very careful here with Free Gazelle, because he'll want to get in on the action, and looks like Free Gazelle's got the pace to pass both of these guys here as they're both battling each other. And look at this going on now. You don't want to hit those curves, it can unsettle the car. They avoid them though. Chris Doherty's had to go defensive up to the chicane with Alex EDL going around outside. Oh, Free Gazelle's looking in the inside. He decides to switch back to the outside, thinks better of it. Alex EDL now looking for the better exit, and he has got a great exit here, and he's fully alongside Chris Doherty. Chris Doherty comes in the pits at the end of lap 3. Pit window is open at the end of lap 3, so he decides to get out that little battle, out of the frying pan and into the pit lane. And we'll see where he comes out. Maybe he'll have the pace on his own, maybe he's thinking, and he'll leave Alex to play with Stalker Brown and Free Gazelle.
Yeah, it just looked like Free Gazelle was getting a bit involved there, so Chris just decided to get out of the battle, just get some clear air and see if he can get himself back in. But yeah, Alex was just looking pretty racy there, but he was quite caught between the two and just biding his time. But yeah, it certainly looks like it's going to be an interesting battle between those three. They're all looking quite racy today.
Yeah, talking of racy, we got Stuart Davis versus Scuderia Sam once again, very even on pace in the juniors, fighting over the win at the moment, but D-Man's not too far behind. Look as well, Roger the Dodger's making a great recovery as well, so we got the front two and then third and fourth, and Scuderia Sam's looking for the inside line there on Stuart Davis. Is he going to go for a move? He thinks about it. Stuart Davis covers the inside line, moves a little bit there to cover the inside line, and says to Scuderia Sam, you're not coming through there. But did you see that, Ian? Chris Doherty has come out just behind this battling pair, so that's terrible news for Chris Doherty.
Yeah, not what he wanted really. He would have been hoping for some clear air coming out, especially with being in a tight battle with Free Gazelle and Alex EDL, so that's not worked out for him, but he'll be hoping to clear that pair as soon as he can and get back on his way, which looks like he might have done, so not too much damage done there, but yeah, it was not ideal for him, I don't think.
Yeah, the pace difference, in fairness, is quite high between the GT5s and the juniors at this circuit. It's about 9 seconds or so, I think, so... Well, judging actually by those times, it's maybe even a bit more than that. Those fastest lap times on the left there. So yeah, Chris Doherty's well on his way now. So he's got a nice bit of clear track ahead of him by the looks of it. So interesting to see now what he can do and where Alex feeds back in. Or Alex is in the pit lane now, actually, looking at the timing screen. So it'll be really interesting to see where he comes back out. As you see, D-Man still holding off Roger the Dodger there. Looks like Roger's got a lot of pace. And in these early stages, he might even be still thinking about the win. But Alex CDL now, where's he going to feed out, Ian?
Yep, he's looking just back behind Sabrosa. This will be interesting here with Chris. It's just Chris on side, but it's going to be very tight between these two, and they were quite close together. But looks like Alex has just got the advantage there. That's worked out quite well for Alex CDL, considering Chris was just ahead of him before the pit, so that's worked out beautifully for him. But yeah, Chris will be hoping to get back on touch pretty soon there.
Certainly will be, as we look at the junior battle now going on for the lead. This is Stuart Davis still fending off Scuderia Sam, and D-Man still fending off Roger the Dodger. So these battles are simmering nicely, aren't they? And we've seen these battles quite a lot, actually. D-Man versus Roger and Stuart Davis versus Scuderia Sam. And at the moment, it looks like the defenders are keeping the attackers behind. But for how long? As Stuart Davis gets well out of shape there by the looks of it. Scuderia Sam now looking for the inside, but he hasn't quite got the momentum this time around. Where are the best overtaking spots in this circuit, would you say? Apart from turn 1, of course.
Down to the last chicane, if you can get a bit of a run there, it's quite a good spot. And yeah, as you say, into the first turn, where that's the kind of the two sort of key spots. But there's a few places you can get a bit of a run on here, as Sam's trying to demonstrate. So if you can get a bit of momentum here, it can make it very difficult for the defending car. But yeah, it's very tight between these two at the moment. As we look back at Roger, who's still on his recovery drive.
It looks like he's dropped some time though to D-Man, look, because he was right on the back of D-Man at the start of this lap, and now he's 3 or 4 seconds behind. And this is Free Gazelle out of the pit lane, ahead of Alex CDL and ahead of Chris Doherty. Fantastic driving from Free Gazelle there to come up ahead of both of those two as they're watching each other. Free Gazelle says, I'll just slip through and take the lead if you don't mind, guys. And Stalker Brown will be looking at the timing screen now, thinking, oh, if I pit now too, I could get involved in this action. So it'll be interesting to see when Stalker Brown now pits and when Cherryberry pits, because he's very much in it too, and Sabrosa, you'd never count him out either, would you? So the GT5 battle is really wide open. Who's going to take the win here at the moment? Alex CDL there in 5th position at the moment. Still got Chris Dorsey hunting him down. Really important for Chris, this is, heading into the last round. He beats Alex CDL here today to give him a realistic shot, although you never know what can happen. Stuart Davis as well, he needs to try and extend his lead a little bit. He doesn't want to be tied on points or within 1 or 2 points of Scuderia Sam going into the last round, because then it's all to play for.
No, definitely, and especially with how tight it is between them just now, it's any advantage will be welcome because it's so close between them. But yeah, Sam again is just very tight in the back here, and just biding his time at the moment. But I think it's only a matter of time before he's looking to make a move as we come into the sort of final section, and he's thinking about it there, but just not quite close enough. But yeah, it's like closed up really well there, so I think it's only a matter of time before that's coming. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, still only lap 6 there for the juniors, so there's still plenty of time to go. But we've seen this before in some of these battles, that it's they sort of shape up for a move and sort of suss each other out a little bit for a few laps, and then kind of all hell breaks loose, doesn't it, in the second half of the race?
Indeed. Sam's wee flicker of the light there maybe, and just thinking about it again, but it's maybe not quite close enough, but always having a wee look, but yeah, still not quite there, but yeah, it's coming. You can feel it kind of brewing up, as you say. They're just feeling each other out for a few laps, and then just working out where they're strong, where they've got the chance, and then the move will come. So yeah, I think yeah, it's a long way to go on that one, as you say, as we see. That's the Stalker Brown just coming into the mix as well. So yeah, it's and that's Chris and Alex CDL as well. So we've got Cherryberry at the front, Sabrosa, but these guys are pitted. So this is the sort of the main battle just now. But yeah, a lot can still happen.
Yeah, look at Stalker Brown though, he's behind Alex CDL and Chris Doherty, so he did not manage to get ahead of those two as Free Gazelle did. So that's really interesting, that Stalker Brown behind those two. So we'll have to wait and see if he can keep hold of that battle and maybe try and make a move at some point later in the race. And we'll have to wait and see where Cherryberry and Sabrosa feed into the equation as well. Alex CDL still only a couple of seconds behind Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle's got absolutely fantastic pace at this track, it has to be said. He's really he's had some difficult races, let's say, in the mid part of this championship, but he's listened to some of the advice of the other drivers, and he seems to be coming really on song now in the last couple of races of this championship. But back to the onboard action of the juniors, and it's onboards on the bonnet there, the stripy bonnet of Scuderia Sam in the slipstream. He's really close this time, Ian. Is he going to go for a move? He's looking down the inside. Is this just another suss out, or is he going for it? He's down the inside. Oh, and they touch slightly. It's hotting up every single lap, isn't it? Something's going to happen here between these two. Thankfully, they both end up pointing the right way. That second corner is a very weird one, isn't it? You sort of clip the dirt, clip the gravel, but there's no real kind of apex as such, any apex curb anyway.
No, definitely. There's a few different lines for the drivers to see Sabrosa pitting, but yeah, there's a few different lines through that first corner, and there's a few drivers trying a few different things. Sam maybe a slightly different line there, made a wee bit of contact, and just again feeling out where he's strong, where he's got a chance here. As you see, McKev's and Twingo always going for it, and yep, that's one of the lines through there, but not a very effective one. But they've both pointing in the right direction, at least, and they get on their way. But yeah, that's the things that can happen with the sort of variable lines through that first corner.
Yeah, you're right there, Ian. There's certainly a lot of different lines being taken through by the drivers through there, and that might not be one of the ones that you'll be wanting to repeat. And this is a battle now for the junior lead, and Scuderia Sam now has got ahead of Stuart Davis. Stuart Davis had a poor exit out of the chicane there. and Scuderia Sam got ahead on the outside and then cut to the inside cheekily to go onto the straight, and but this has given him a slightly worse exit now, and Stuart Davis is right tucked underneath the rear bumper, the rear spoiler of that Ginetta Junior car as they come down the straight, and you can see D-Man and Roger Dodger in the background watching on as well. Which way is Stuart Davis going to go? Does he try the dummy? No, he has to go to the outside. Scuderia Sam's piled the inside line, and Stuart Davis right round the outside now. Is he going to try and go for it? He is. He slightly barging there between the both of them, and very forcefully Stuart Davis managed to get back ahead. Great racing between these two. What do you make of that, Ian?
Yeah, it was quite a robust pass, but he did it well. He went wide round the outside. He had good speed round there, and he just kind of fed it round the outside and just stuck his car in and just kind of held it there. And they both they both kept pointing in the right direction at least. And yeah, it was quite a robust pass, but a fair one, and they're both on their way. So. Yeah, he did well to keep that ahead of there, but you feel there's more to come between those two.
Yeah, and the lights have started flashing as the green machine, the green monster in the background, D-Man, hunts them both down now, really looming in fast. So I think this is a bit of a pressure situation now for Scuderia Sam, who looks to the inside. Stuart Davis is saying, no, you can't come through there today, sorry pal. And Scuderia Sam has to back out of it in the end. He tries to get a better exit, but look at that now, the Irishman right on the back of the Welshman now, and we'll have to wait and see what goes on into the last corner. But Scuderia Sam, you can see he's in that pressure zone now, where he has to try and make a pass, but also defend at the same time, and you're not going to get through the last corner like that. And this is going to give D-Man an excellent run, I'd imagine, onto the straight as Roger the Dodger closes in too. So this is turning into a four-way battle now for the lead of the juniors. It looks like Scuderia Sam has just left the door open for D-Man there, so that's quite an interesting tactic if he does that.
Yeah, I think he just was like weighing up his options for Stu in front, and it's brought D-Man right back into the battle. So, major lunge there from Sam as he overcooked it. Yeah, Stuart's just going to get back down the inside and both onto the got a bit messy there, but they've survived that, and it was just a good attempt from Sam, but yeah, just a bit of a lunge, and Stuart's managed to re-establish himself, but it's brought Dara and Roger right back into this as we see another robust pass between these two.
Yeah, it's back ahead now, and it's gloves off now, isn't it? As we head to halfway through this race, and Stuart Davis looking on the inside now, and they make contact. Oh, and spinning both of them out into the barrier, bang! And both championship rivals are in the barrier there, and getting going again now. And there'll be some choice words under the crash helmets of those virtual cars. And look at that now, that's left the door wide open. Roger the Dodger and D-Man will be saying thank you very much, but somewhere in all of that madness, Roger's got ahead of D-Man again. D-Man now looking at the inside line, so that's such a shame though for the spectacle, because now 4 becomes 2 in the battle for the lead of the juniors. What do you make of that, Ian?
Yeah, you might say it was inevitable the way they were squaring up to each other. They were quite firm but fair before, but it was just a wee bit. They got a wee bit out of shape coming through that corner, a bit of a tag, and they were both off. So easy done, and it's in amongst that. I think Dara just got caught out with the two tangling in front of him, and it's let Roger through. So bit of a shame. It was such a nice battle there, but there's still in touch, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it certainly opened up the gap between them as we look at Stalker Brown and Chris Doherty in the GT5s. But yeah, that was quite a bit of a tight battle in there.
Yeah, there'll certainly be some choice words going on, I'd imagine, between the two of them. And look, they're still within a second on the track, so it's certainly not over yet, is it? It's a lot more to come, I feel.
Certainly not. More to come, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And Roger is also quite close as well with D-Man, so that's one to watch. But whilst we were following all that action, Stalker Brown has got ahead of Chris Doherty, look. So I don't know if I missed something, Ian. Did Chris Doherty make a mistake somewhere? I'm not sure. He runs very wide over that curve now. He's trying his best to try and get back past Stalker Brown. Because remember, Stalker Brown came out behind, didn't he, after his pit stop? And Alex DDL now is cleared off 6 seconds up the road after Free Gazelle. And Cherry Berry and Sabrosa have both pitted as well, and they've come out behind all of those cars in 5th and 6th place.
Yeah, just a bit of a shuffle there with Chris, who was ahead, and then he's come out behind. He's ended up behind Stalker Brown, but they're still in touch, so it could be between these two. And we've seen there's Stuart Davis under investigation for causing a collision, so we're going to see what the race stewards make of that. But and now we're at Roger, who's now got the lead in the juniors. D-Man not too far behind, and Chris Doherty and Stocker Brown quite close together as well. So it's tight battles for Team Ireland just now.
Yeah, they really need to do their best today to stay with in the teams championship. Anyway, it was Roger the Dodger takes an adventurous rallycross route there through turn 2. You see what I mean? Turn 2 is a weird one, isn't it? It's no real proper apex. But anyway, talking of apexes, you can see Scuderia Sam there taking the inside line with Stuart Davis bearing down once again on him. So yeah, that fight's continuing, and Chris Doherty now, he's got an excellent run on the inside here of Stalker Brown. Stalker Brown's gone a little bit wide, but he'll have the inside line for the next corner, which will help him. But it's just a matter of whether Chris Doherty can try and wrong foot him as they come onto the back straight there and try and get an excellent run. I'd imagine that's what he's trying to do. He takes an excellent inside line there to get as much momentum onto the straight as he possibly can. He's got a great slipstream here, heading up to the tight chicane, but he's still got to make it work when you get there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you'll have a great slipstream off this, but then you've got to make the move. And we've seen Sam and Stuart not quite working out between them, so you still got to be careful. And he's right hard up, but Stalker Brown's got it covered just now. But there's still a chance to get a swing round the outside onto it, and then of course onto the first corner. So it's not over yet. As we see, Stalker Brown's going wide. It's to open the door for Chris Doherty, but they've made wee touches. Come by, but it looks like Chris Doherty's got this gun, but still got the first corner, so Stalker Brown looking to come back if he can, but I think Chris might just have the gap on him.
Yeah, great move from Chris there. Just pressurised Stalker Brown into a little bit of an error, I think. Stalker Brown's been driving absolutely fantastically, and just one small mistake there and lets Chris Doherty through. As you can see, riding on board with D-Man, the GT5 of Subrosa, that must be, I think, going down the inside end, the blue machine. Riding on board with D-Man, looking at the bumper now of Roger the Dodger. They're both taking as much apex as they can of that second corner, and D-Man really wants to get back past here. Let's not forget, this is the fight for the win now in the junior class, and they're also fighting over third position overall, aren't they, Ian, in the juniors? So this is really important points for both of them here to take into the final round at Dubai Club Circuit next time.
They sure are, and they're in. It's been so close between Stuart and Sam at the front, but this is a great opportunity for both of them as they're fighting for third. So they want to make the most of this, but they'll also both be looking for the win if it's there, as Dara's doing all he can behind Roger. But Roger had great pace in qualifying, so he goes well around here, so he'll be looking to maintain that advantage. But Dara's going to keep him honest if he can. So it's could be interesting to see these two now.
Yeah, they would have seen as well what happened with Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis, so they're probably hoping not to do the same thing. Maybe they would have looked at that and gone, maybe we'll not do that. But as Makev's getting out of the way on the inside with the looks of it, he's still in a fight with Twingo, if you can try and catch him back up in the junior class, and Stalker Brown now trying to get through Chris Doherty if he can, but he's good actually. He's sticking with Chris Doherty, so this battle is not over yet. But in all of that, Ian, what's quite interesting, Alex Igniel slipped to now 7 seconds behind Free Gazelle. So I don't know if there's a little story going on there with Free Gazelle. Maybe he's picked up his pace. He's certainly the fastest GT5 car on the circuit right now, but Alex Igniel's not exactly driving slowly.
No, definitely, but Free Gazelle showed he had tremendous pace because prior to the pit stops he was third, and after all the pit stops he was first. So he was on a great run during all the pit stops, and he's managed to give himself quite a gap at the front now. So he's just looked on it, and he has been come along nicely as well in this championship. So he's just making the most of his pace just now. But with Alex only 7 seconds behind now, so. It's not over yet, but it's certainly looking. He's certainly looking good in his position just now, as we see Stalker Brown and Chris continuing their battle a bit closer again now.
Yeah, Chris Doherty's led large parts of this championship. He's won, I think, a few races. I can't remember how many. At least a couple. There are a lot of different winners in the GT5s, but Chris Doherty's led for large parts, so he'll be really gutted if it starts slipping away from him now in the closing stages of this championship. Although those two, Chris Doherty and Alex Igniel, they've had quite a rivalry over the league's history. If you've been following the league anyway on the videos, you would have seen especially their battle in the Clio Cup. Do you remember that, Ian, when they had that fight to the line, and they finished like within a couple of tenths of each other, and it was like whoever took the win that day was going to win the championship. A bit like Verstappen Hamilton.
Indeed, and they kept it going right to the end. It was right on the line for the final pass, so it was great stuff. So yeah, we could have do a bit more of that coming into here, but that would be something. So 10-second penalty for Stuart Davis for causing that collision. That's an interesting one. He's behind Sam again now, so that won't be working out well for the championship for him.
Well, I don't know you say that, but Luke McGee's the next one back in 11th, the Scotsman. He's not having a particularly great day, is he? I mean, as McEv's parked on the outside, I don't know what he's doing there, maybe looking for a lift. But trying to lap there, I think, Chris Doherty and Stoke Brown there trying to lap Twingo, I think that is, isn't it? So, yeah, just about getting past there onto the straight, and now they got Luke McGee just up ahead by the looks of it. But yeah, Luke McGee, he's a good, 40 seconds or so behind Stuart Davis? So 10 seconds isn't really going to matter unless Stuart Davis really does something silly. Yeah,
that's true. It looks like a bit of a battle between McGee and Twingo in the back there, but as you say, it's quite a gap back, so it looks like it might not cause Stuart too much trouble, but if he gets ahead of Sam, it's going to affect him here as he's done so just now. So that 10-second penalty might factor in now, depending on how things go. But as you say, it's not going to cause too many lost points. But could affect things now, the way how tight it's been between them.
They're still going for it, like unbelievable. And Stuart Davis, absolutely fantastic manoeuvre there on Scuderia Sam. Just wrong-footed him completely in the chicane, but really poor exit onto the straight, and that's allowed Scuderia Sam back past. So Stuart Davis now is trying to think, well, do I go down outside it, plunge down the inside? He sticks for the outside, but hasn't quite got the momentum he would have wanted to stick it down the inside of turn 2 there, like he did earlier on. And Scuderia Sam manages to hold that lead for now, but certainly not over that. Oh, and Stalker Brown here just ahead of Chris Doherty. These two are having an absolutely fantastic battle as well, aren't they? They're really enjoying themselves with the looks of it today.
Yeah, they sure are, and it's bit of a back and forth between them, but so they'll be enjoying that. And just Chris looking to re-establish himself, but it's just been back and forth between these two, so it's been a good watch as well, as you see him in a very interesting line through that corner again.
Yeah, just a little bit. But back to the leader, Frigazell now 15 seconds ahead of Alex CDL. Alex CDL, one of the fastest drivers in the league. Frigazell is dominating this race, there's no other word for it, and that time that gap is just opening and opening and opening. At this rate, he'd be able to make another pit stop if he wanted. Well, he won't actually, because the pit stop window's closed, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely he'd have it in his pocket if he was so inclined. But he's really found his groove today, and he'll be what's been most, as I see, more contact between Sam and Stuart there as they're coming through. But is that the race leader coming through, so he'll be wanting to not get too involved with that. But it's certainly been a good day for Frigazell.
Yeah, you can see he can even afford to lift off there and coast. He lost 3 seconds in that, but you can see he wasn't really exactly trying to get past straight away, was he? He was waiting for the straight very sensibly, and the GT5s have got a lot more power than the juniors, waiting for the straights to get past. But you can see that one of the examples of how the GT5s can lose time to battle in junior cars, and we've seen quite a bit of that this championship, but all the drivers are quite wise to it now, so I don't see too many issues these days. But very wise from Frigazell there, just holding off and waiting for the straight and then blasting past them.
Yeah, we saw that earlier when Chris Doherty came out of the pits between the two leaders at the time on the straights, and he was ahead of them by halfway through. So just bide your time and take your opportunities, especially this big long straight and that power advantage. So there's no need to take any unnecessary risks. As we look back at Chris Doherty now, he's got a good gap again, but still Stalker Brown still within touching distance, but it looks like he's eking out a bit of a gap now.
Yeah, it does look like it, but in the juniors it's still very much on for who's going to win that, because D-Man is only a second or so behind Roger the Dodger, so it's going to go right to the line, I think, between those two, as it is with these two as well, although this is the biggest gap, like you say, Ian, that they've had for a while between the two of them. It's been pretty much inseparable for half of this race of Chris Doherty and Stalker Brown. So yeah, great battle between those two, and it looks like Subrosa got past Cherryberry at some stage as well, and Cherryberry is falling quite a bit behind. So we've seen him make a few errors, haven't we? Cherryberry, he's had the pace, but in the race sometimes he's made a couple of errors which puts him off the back of the pack there.
Yeah, he certainly had the pace, but yeah, just the odd error just maybe drop off. But yeah, he's certainly the runners. Look at two teammates getting past each other as this is now Alex experiencing getting through the back markers. So yeah, but yeah, it'll be a bit confused for Sam wondering what's going on behind him. But yeah, they seem to get through okay. So.
Yeah, Scuderia Sam here having to be really careful of Alex Didiel. Alex Didiel might be helping out his teammate for once here. They're quite famous for not helping each other out very much. As who's that off there? Makev's,
yeah.
Makev's doing donuts for the fans there, so Makev's wins the fan favourite award for today. Fan favourite award goes to Makev's. Congratulations, Makev's. But yeah, it's probably not the way he wanted to end his day there in the gravel, but it looks like he's had a lot of fun. But talking of having a lot of fun, Free Gazelle dominated today, and across the line he comes now to take the win here. Fantastic win by Free Gazelle, has to be said. And then that's Roger the Dodger coming in behind by the looks of it, winning just ahead of D-Man in the juniors. So two winners coming over the line pretty much together there. Great races by the two of them. Quite different races as well, it has to be said.
Yeah, quite different, but yeah, they'll both be pleased with that. Roger from his early off recovering well to get the win, and Free Gazelle showing amazing pace to get the win, as we see it all kicking off at the end there.
The customary celebrations where everybody just rips their car apart after crossing the line.
Good to blow off steam after a tough day's racing, which that was. So it's been yeah, quite tight between some of the competitors. So they'll be quite pleased to get to the end of that. But as we look at McGee and Twinger just coming to round off, they've had a bit of a looks like they've had a bit of a tight battle too. But yeah, it's Free Gazelle takes the win there.
Yeah, well, the virtual fans certainly had their virtual money's worth today, didn't they? That was great virtual racing. And Free Gazelle, well, yeah, fantastic win. Congratulations, Free Gazelle. Just ahead of, well, I say just ahead, quite a bit ahead of Alex EDL. But the important thing for Alex, he was ahead of Chris Doughty. So that is a good advantage he takes now into the final round in the championship. So he's looking the favourite at the moment. And in the juniors, well, all hell broke loose there, didn't it? Roger the Dodger just about finishing ahead of D-Man. Those two certainly setting the example of how to not crash into each other, as Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis did, the two championship rivals. But it means, I think, for the championship that Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis are going to be a little bit closer heading into the last round, possibly only 1 point in it. We'll have a look now. Yeah, it's only 1 point in it between Stuart Davis and Scuderia Sam heading into the last round of the juniors. So that's really, really all to play for there. Any one of those two could win. So it's pretty much whoever finishes ahead of the other. Roger the Dodger's not far behind either after another win. He's just winning everything at the moment, Roger the Dodger. And D-Man, a great display as well. And then in the GT5, of course, Alex CDL has got a good margin now over Chris Doughty, 6 points. So it's going to be tough for Chris to make that sort of margin up on Alex CDL. Free Gazelle now, he's in third, look, ahead of Subrosa. Great driving by Free Gazelle today. So Subrosa's got his work cut out to get back up to third in the championship. Good battle going on. And in the team stand-ins, it's Team Spin who I think officially will be, yeah, I think that's it now. Team Spin are the team's champions. Don't need to go into the last round for them. Although Alex DDL and Stuart Davis probably do want to go into the last round because their championships are still up for grabs. But it's still quite tight between second, third and fourth. So we'll have to join in, where's next in? Dubai, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have to join in Dubai to see what happens. Yep. Yeah, so from Ian and myself, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for the finale.